Okay, Jesus as a teenager. Our text is Matthew 2:39 through 52. At age 12, a Jewish boy became a son of the commandment, which meant he was now responsible to uphold the Jewish law, which would be the law of Moses at that time. So what was the law of Moses? Well, those are the Torah, the first five books of the Bible, especially the books of the law like Deuteronomy. On this day, when a young Jewish boy would become 12, his bar mitzvah, he would stand before his parents and his community, and he would say, well, he would declare, "Today I am a man." So then when we compare that in Luke 2:41 through 46, at certain times, the Sanhedrin would sit in the courtyard of the temple, and they would have theological discussions. So this process of asking questions and listening to the answers is known as the Socratic method. We see this throughout history in lots of different educational settings, from Greek and Roman, Jewish, all over the ancient world, both in the East and the West. This is also how young rabbis were trained. So the Sanhedrin, if we remember, guys, it is the 70 teachers who served as the Supreme Court in the Hebrew law. And then we can go over Mark 6:3. And then one of the questions we talked about is, how many siblings did Jesus have? And is that what you would consider a large family? We talked about they list his brothers, and then they also list sisters, plural. So Jesus was at least one of 7, maybe more, depending on how many sisters he had. Joseph was a carpenter. We think that he died after Jesus was 12 because he does appear in that story, but he would have died probably before Jesus started his public ministry. The period of Jesus' life between age 12 and 30s are often referred to as the lost years, because scripture doesn't really mention what happened during those 18 years. And if you remember, we talked about scripture has everything we need to know, and if we want to know more, we can look outside the Bible and look for other texts and other things, and use our brains and read other things about that time period and kind of make some good guesses. But scripture has everything we absolutely need to know if we want to dig further. I personally think that's a lot of fun. I know some of you do too. Moving on, we assume that Jesus spent the time supporting and caring for his mother, his brothers, and his sisters. As the oldest son, when Joseph died, that would have been Jesus's cultural responsibility and familial responsibility. He would have been seen as the one responsible to continue to provide an income as his siblings were growing up. And then we talked about, would you guys find it difficult to support a family based on the knowledge and skills you currently have? We all decided that yes, that would be very difficult. And then, so some of the key concepts: he was at least the oldest of at least 7 children. He would have been a carpenter like his earthly father. He would have begun to attend synagogue school beginning about age 6. And that is what we had for the lesson on Jesus's growing up years. Thanks for watching.